Hi guys, how you doing? This is Rowland with The Ordinary Investor, where we help put the wealth plan in your hand. Today, I wanted to talk about the consumer trap. All right, the consumer trap. So what do I mean by that? Pretty much we are in a consuming world, and even our economy seems to be based upon consumerism, or how much consumers are buying things. And I've seen a couple things like the Popeye's chicken sandwich, just got released back, and just wanted to talk about that in addition to a few other things. But it amazes me how much time that people take to wait in line for a fast food chicken sandwich. I mean, regardless of how good it is, that we will literally spend an hour of our time and then pay money to get a fast food chicken sandwich. Now, if you're sitting in a restaurant, that could be cool to do that because it's all about atmosphere. But this to me is pure craziness. I mean, think about it. If you just take a step back and you think about, hey, what is the reason that we do all of this work stuff for, right? We do a lot of it to have some level of freedom, some level of time security. And then, a lot of us just go ahead and give our time back to a restaurant who really has no vested interest in us, but we will literally sacrifice our time that we could have been spending making money, to sit in line and then make a purchase of something that we didn't really need in the first place. Now, I'm sure the chicken sandwich is good. I haven't had it yet, but I mean, there's no level of satisfaction I could get from a chicken sandwich to wait in line for an hour like that and waste an hour of my time, because our time is one of the most valuable things that we have. But we waste it. Many of us, like we do money. So I just want to talk to you real quick about the consumer trap. And we have to be mindful that there are institutions based on how to market to us to get us to spend our dollars. So pretty much there are marketing degrees or studies of how do you get people to spend money. So people are plotting on how to take your money from you on a regular basis. They're learning it in levels of higher institution, through courses, through their corporations. We just have to be mindful that this is going on. Now, enjoy your money, have fun, spend it on the things you want to spend it on, but don't become over leveraged. One of the things is a lot of people sometimes have a negative budget or a red budget where you're spending more than you have. We have to fix that type of stuff because, we're giving everyone else our money. Fundamentally, we're giving everyone else our money and not even keeping some for ourselves. We made the money. We worked for it, right? But we sometimes give it all away to somebody else. We give all our hard-earned money away to somebody else without thinking to keep some for ourselves. This is a wealth building rule as well, is to pay yourself first in whatever kind of capacity, because we have to keep our money in our possession to build wealth. We have to have an excess of money to even start to save, to get a level of comfort, so then we can start to take risk and start to build wealth. So these are fundamental things that we have to do. I also saw this like $5,000 doll on TV on the news, and I was like, wow. And you know what? Somebody's probably going to buy it. Now, if somebody knows dolls very well, that might be a good investment for them. But for a regular person who's not a sophisticated doll collector, that may just be a big a money waste. But we really have to truly take an internal look. I have to do this, and I still have to do it today. Take an internal look at what my values are, what truly makes me happy, and where am I spending money? And is it necessarily something that I need to do? Do I have to have those subscriptions? Do I have to have that gym membership? Do I have to have, all these cable and satellite and, Hulu and Netflix? I need to have them all. And they're, as you can see, they're breaking them up. So you just have to go back and reevaluate. Go take a look at your bills, see what you're spending money on, and then see if it lines up to what makes you happy. Because if it doesn't make you happy, we need to really reevaluate those things. Don't get caught up in the consumer trap. Luxury houses. That's another thing I want to touch on. I read the book Everyday Millionaires by Chris Hogan. It's a pretty good book, but it explains how the average millionaire, everyday millionaire, lives in a 2,500 square foot home. So that's a very average home that a lot of these everyday millionaires are, living in. Now, Many real estate is a part of many wealth plans. And if you have rental property that's cash flowing for you and give you tax deduction and everything else, then that is something else that you can be having. But again, that is an asset that you can have above and beyond your regular house. Because a lot of times, if we have too much home and we don't have a lot of income, that could prevent us from building wealth, because a lot of our money is actually going into our home as opposed to building wealth. So make sure that we're doing those things as well. Just be mindful of where and how you're spending your money and what genuinely makes you happy. You know, is a 3,000 square foot home really going to make you a lot happier than a 2,500 square foot home or a 2,000 square foot home? You know, you have to reevaluate. I can't answer that question for you, but you have to reevaluate and evaluate those things on a regular basis. And look at the big picture and then break it down into small steps. Okay. We just can't get caught up in this consumer trap. So just be mindful out there that before you go spending money on fast food or something else, or a luxury car, you know, instead of having a used car, or if you just need to get around, again, if you have the money to splurge on these things, hey, have fun with it. But if you don't, if money is something that you are still trying to save, if you're still trying to get an emergency fund, if you're not ready to splurge just yet, just reevaluate those type of things that you have and get them for the functionality if it's not making you happy. If your commute to work is everything for you and you need a luxury experience in the time you go to work where you're half asleep and, you know, exhausted at the end of the day, then maybe you might need to get a luxury car. Maybe that works for you. But if it is not, then, you know, you just don't need it. We don't spend that much time in the car anyway when you look at it. And then we're doing a lot of other things like paying attention to the road. Anyway, we're not really paying attention to the luxury around us in the car, but just things to evaluate. So this is Rowland Webb with The Ordinary Investor. If you like this, give me a thumbs up, click, share, like, subscribe, do whatever you need to do. If this gave you value, please spread the word. I'm not here to do anything but educate you and put you in the best financial position possible. Just trying to contribute my piece to the world. This is Rowland Webb with Ordinary Investor. Take care.